Welcome to Abdali Grammar School YouTube channel. Abdali English Grammar, Active and Passive Voice. Welcome back, viewers. In today's video, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of active and passive voice. Understanding the difference between these two forms of voice is crucial for effective communication. So, let's get started. To begin, let's define what active and passive voice are. Active voice is when the subject of a sentence performs the action. It's direct, concise, and often more engaging. For example, take the sentence, John threw the ball. Here, the subject, John, is performing the action, which is throwing the ball. The sentence is clear, and the emphasis is on the subject. On the other hand, passive voice is when the subject of a sentence receives the action. It can sometimes sound less direct or less engaging. Let's use the same sentence and transform it into the passive voice. The ball was thrown by John. Notice how the subject, the ball, is now receiving the action of being thrown, and the emphasis shifts away from the subject. Now that we understand the basic concept, let's explore when and why we might use each form. Active voice is preferred in most cases because it promotes clarity and directness. It allows the reader or listener to quickly grasp who is performing the action. Consider the sentence, "The cat chased the mouse." The active voice clearly indicates that the cat is the one doing the chasing, making it easier to understand. Passive voice, on the other hand, can be useful when we want to emphasize the object of an action or when we want to conceal or downplay the subject. Let's look at an example. The cake was baked by Sarah. Here, the focus is on the cake rather than on Sarah, making the sentence more object-centric. It's important to note that passive voice can sometimes be vague or ambiguous, so be cautious when using it. Now, let's move on to some tips for identifying and converting passive voice to active voice. To identify passive voice, look for the use of be verbs, such as is, are, was, were, combined with a past participle, usually ending in ed. Consider this sentence, the book was read by Mary. The use of was and read together indicates passive voice. To convert passive voice to active voice, follow these simple steps. 1. Identify the subject. 2. Determine the action performed by the subject. 3. Place the subject before the verb. 4. Restructure the sentence accordingly. Let's convert the passive sentence, "The car was repaired by the mechanic," to active voice. The subject is the mechanic. The action is repairing, so we rearrange it to say, "The mechanic repaired the car." Remember, active voice is generally preferred for clear and engaging communication. However, passive voice can have its uses in specific contexts. Let's move on to the exercise. Convert passive voice to active voice. In this exercise, I'll give you a sentence in the passive voice, and your task is to convert it to active voice. The cake was baked by my grandmother. And the answer is, my grandmother baked the cake. The letter was written by Tom. And the answer is, Tom wrote the letter. The song was sung by a famous singer. And the answer is, a famous singer sang the song. Let's move on to the second exercise. Convert active voice to passive voice. She waters the plants every morning. And the answer is, the plants are watered by her every morning. The chef prepares delicious meals in the kitchen. And the answer is, delicious meals are prepared in the kitchen by the chef. They built a new bridge over the river. And the answer is, a new bridge was built over the river by them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Till then, stay curious.